Good morning, everybody. It's Monday, and what a weekend, really. I just made myself work here that didn't really need doing. I am quite proud of myself because I'm sitting here to because I'm in front of the fire. It's so cold. It's been freezing all weekend and miserable. But I've got Alfie's weighted blanket here that I haven't taken back after the summer, and my own. So I took them out of the covers and washed them. They were in new covers, intending to take house back. But anyway, I just washed all the covers off the weighted blankets, put a new cover on. The one, Alfie's one, I'm not going to have that on my bed. So there's a big double weighted blanket here that my son will probably have. And if you're watching the video, eldest son, there'll be a little package in the post for you. So nothing really exciting, just wanted to send you something. I got to thinking how with this COVID, everybody's in lockdown again now, and you're told not to go out. And apparently, my son was saying on the phone last night that somebody went round to their friends for a cup of tea, and I don't know how they were found out, but they were, whether somebody, a nosy neighbour, reported them. It's getting like Russia, and they were fined. So I'll have to look that up later on the internet. I didn't see anything about it. So you find if you go into somebody's house for a cup of tea, it's getting crazy, it really is. And I've been watching every Friday, serialised on Netflix, something called Barrier, or The Barrier. And it's about how, I think it's set in Spain. Somebody at my door. And about how after a virus has claimed lives and infected so many people, how they're in lockdown and one part of the city is segregated from another, and the barrier is where you have to go through if you're working in somebody's house as their servant. You have to go through the barrier and be fumigated. And it's reminiscent of what's happening now. There's another one on Netflix, what's it called? The Lake, or The Lake House. I haven't started to watch that yet, but it looks as though that too is about the aftermath of a virus or some contamination getting out into the general public, and people fleeing for their lives and watching people they love just become contaminated and zombie-like in that case. But I've got to thinking, how it is that a lot of people, and I include myself, are never going to see certain members of their family again. Brothers, sisters, who are, vulnerable and having to shield. And my younger brother has cancer. I haven't seen him for months, and I don't know what to expect. And of course he can't come round like he used to, and I keep in touch with him by phone occasionally. A lot of the time he doesn't even want to answer the phone, and you just worry that you're never going to see them again, and it will happen. It happened with Alfie, didn't it? That during the time I couldn't go to see him, that was the time, as I predicted, when I wasn't going in to keep on top of everything, that was the time he was neglected. He was dehydrated. He had long, filthy nails. His hair was full of scurf and soap. His teeth hadn't been brushed. His ears were running. All of these things I had to, on Alfie's deathbed, I was trying to clean. Shame on you, Methodist nursing homes. Shame on you. And you keep changing your story about that day. I'm not involved in what's going on. My husband's gone. Nothing's going to bring him back. And I believe in karma. But I know my youngest son is demanding answers. I doubt you're going to get them. They're liars. Wait until I get on doing my blog, and then we'll see what's what. I'm going to the cemetery tomorrow with my youngest son. He is counted as in my little bubble to bring my shopping in and look after me, etc. So we're going to see Alf tomorrow. And I bought this, and it was for Christmas really. Just to put on the grave. So pretty. It's plated. What's it say on it? It doesn't say anything. But it's plated gold anyway. Isn't it pretty? But my son said to me, don't take it because likely it will disappear. And I said, surely not. Not when you've got something to honour somebody you love and you put it on the grave. And he's right, I suppose. You know, if kids are playing and they see that, or somebody who's got no conscience, then maybe it would go. So what I think I'll do, I think I will take it at Christmas and dig it in among the other flowers that way. All is sorted out for Alfie's headstone, sent the forms back, and I've got my son as registered grave holder so that when I die there's not going to be a rigmarole about everything, the paperwork. So he's registered grave holder, so he had to come and sign the forms for the headstone, and then I will send the 20% deposit tomorrow, which is, how much have I got to send? 600 and something. Send that tomorrow, and then as soon as they've got the permit back from Birmingham Council, I send another 60% or 70%. So that's all done, and I think it's going to be really beautiful tribute to Alf. It's going to be lovely. And it gives me a little bit of comfort to know it's going to be there. But I can't take much comfort in anything, I'm afraid. Nothing. I just feel empty, feel everything's flat. And I used to hate, I can say it now, I used to dread and hate every day of going to that nursing home. I used to dread it because I could almost guarantee that there was going to be something wrong, that Alfie's things were missing, or he hadn't got a vest on and just got a shirt on, or they hadn't got him up, they hadn't cleaned him, his nails were like, oh, it was always something wrong. And of course the previous manager used to be on the ball and she was really good, and any complaints that we had she dealt with straight away. But the new manager, who I called a snake in the grass at the time, and I said to my son, mark my words, she's after the manager's job, and lo and behold, she got it, didn't she? And she lasted 2 years. which my old boss always used to say, 2 years is long enough for anybody to make a complete mess of the job that they're in, and then they leave and go on to something else to make a complete mess of that. And it's true. We had no end of problems with that. Promising the special chair for Alfie, which never transpired, you know. We were waiting 2 years for it, over 2 years. And I bought a chair, but I was waiting for this maid to measure one that she said was on order. Never happened. She was a liar. And what a way to go out, that on the Saturday, as Alfie died, the following week was her last week there. Did she go, or was she pushed? I think she was pushed. And I think she was pushed because of my son writing to the management and saying that nobody showed her any respect, and therefore the work didn't get done. Shouldn't have been that way, of course, but it was. Anyway, I don't know what I'm up to today. I don't know whether to come back on and do a proper chatty video about what I'm going to do with the rest of my life, because I don't know. I felt the other day that I wanted to hang myself. That's how I felt. I don't want to feel that way. And Alfie wouldn't want me to feel that way. And what's the point? Leaving so much misery behind. And I haven't got the courage anyway. It takes courage. I don't think I'm going to get any satisfaction or any pleasure out of doing things for myself, just for myself. I think I've got to be geared towards doing things for other people. I've done my bit for the animals over the years, and now maybe it's time to give a little bit to the community in some way, via the church maybe, where the vicar, Pastor Beaumangel, was lovely and did a beautiful service for Alf with all the Elvis songs. It was beautiful. Alf would have loved it. I'm sure he was watching as well. I'm sure he was. I just want him to come back just to touch me. I feel him around me a lot of the time. I do. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to go on. And I do feel him around me, but there's nothing really tangible. I feel my dog. I felt my dog for the last few years since she passed away. And sometimes I actually speak to her and say, keep still, Amber, keep still, sharpening your claws on my bed. But with Alf, there hasn't been that tangible link. And I want and I need there to be. We all think our grief is the worst, that you're suffering more than anybody else, that nobody has ever felt this way. And it's probably true, because we are all different souls, aren't we? But we are all linked, every one of us. We're born, we live, we die, and our spirit goes back to source. Every one of us. So we are all linked. Why can't we just all get on with each other? Is it so hard? I'll be back a little bit later on. Okay. Bye-bye. Have a good day, whatever you're doing. Bye-bye.